How many rematches have you fought?
0.
What do you have to do to create enough separation where this don't happen again?
Whew, it's a good question. It's going to be based on my training camp. I have to push myself a little harder if that didn't get me the win. And I have room. I definitely have room. I'm not going to lie, I have room.
Still feel like you're too small?
I think it was too small.
Dang.
I'm just calling a spade. No disrespect, no nothing. He was just too small.
How many rematches have you fought? 0. What do you have to do to create enough separation where this don't happen again? It's a good question. It's going to be based on my training camp. I have to push myself a little harder if that didn't get me to win. And I have room. I definitely have room. I'm not going to lie. I have room. You still feel like you too small? He was too small. Dang. I'm just calling a spade a fake. No disrespect, no nothing. He was just too far out. The first face-off between Tank and Lamont Roach just wrapped with both feeling confident against each other. They kept it professional but firm. Both clearly ready for the rematch scheduled for August. Lamont Roach still insists that this time Davis will face a completely different fight. He believes adjustments from his camp will be enough to shift the outcome in his favor, and his focus in training has reflected that. There are rumors of what's going on in Tank's camp, and training with this person, training with that person. Yeah. Who has the edge heading into the rematch? Neither one of them. Lamont, you know what? I'm lying. 55-45, Lamont. Why Lamont got the edge? 'Cause he already did the unexpected. He was supposed to get knocked out coming up from 130. And not only did he not get knocked out, he performed and possibly won the fight. That's what some people believe. I thought it was a very close fight. I think but after you asked me that question, I'm thinking about it. Yeah. Roach has kept most of his core team the same, including his father, Lamont Roach, Sr., who continues to guide the camp. What's changed is the intensity. According to Roach's brother in the camp, Roach has increased his strength and conditioning work, added a new nutrition plan, and brought in additional sparring partners, some of whom are known for pressuring fighters and mimicking Davis's southpaw stance and explosiveness. Their goal is to completely take away Davis's timing and neutralize his counters. Roach is also working more rounds than before, increasing his output to prepare for a faster pace. The plan this time isn't just to survive Davis's burst, but to meet them with volume and sharp counters. They've paid special attention to what they believe were lapses in judging during the first fight. Roach's team felt that some of the closer rounds were scored incorrectly, and they're not counting on the judges giving them anything for free this time. They're aiming for more control, more visible dominance per round. Roach has mentioned that he wants to leave, no doubt, and that means staying active even in slower rounds, and staying off the ropes. Training has included more footwork drills and defensive angles to avoid getting pinned or caught waiting. He got a lot of boobs from that. A lot of people wasn't really feeling that. Do you feel like he'll fight better this next fight? I think so, for sure. And you had mentioned that they've known each other since childhood, so maybe that had something to do with that first fight, but now they've fought. They've gotten that, experience out of the way. So, I think we're going to see both of them a lot more. Way better. Yeah, definitely more. Even though the commission upheld the original draw after Roach's team filed a protest over the non-call on the 9th round knockdown, that episode still hits hard in their preparation. It's pushed the team to prepare Roach mentally for dealing with any situation in the ring, whether clean or not. His camp doesn't want to rely on any interventions from officials and has been focused on staying in control at all times. People just don't like Tank to a point where any little thing just because he ain't knock him out. He probably feel as though that he lost and he didn't, or it was a draw, I feel like Tank was doing a lot of smart things in the beginning, moving a little bit too much, but I feel like he was still frustrated and things like that, and I think Tank did a good job. He looked sharp to me, and I don't know, people just be talking, you know, at the end of the day you can't please everybody. Were you surprised that Lamont was in Davis? Meanwhile, has kept quiet publicly about the rematch. He hasn't confirmed who's leading his training camp this time. In the last fight, longtime coach Calvin Ford was present, but Barry Hunter played a more central role. There's been no confirmation yet whether Ford will take over again or if Hunter will remain in charge. However, footage and reports suggest that Davis has been back in the gym and working on the same core principles that have made him effective: timing, counters, and keeping his power sharp. Sources inside his circles say there has been an added emphasis on consistency and activity. Davis reportedly felt he gave up rounds by being too selective in the first fight and is working to throw more without giving up accuracy. Gervonta Davis and Lamont Roach, the rematch is on. Lamont Roach fought a perfect fight. Gervonta didn't look so great in the rematch. Gervonta can do a lot more better. Roach can't. Gervonta may win this one. Davis's camp hasn't made major structural changes, but they are making small adjustments based on the last fight. They believe Roach was able to outwork Davis in certain rounds, not because he was better, but because Davis didn't press the gas. They're focusing on keeping Davis more active across all 3 minutes of every round. He's also been drilling on ring generalship and trying to stay out of moments where he's reacting to Roach instead of dictating the pace. From their side, the message has been clear. The first fight wasn't Davis at his best. And they're not looking to repeat that version was bothering him. No. See, and that's the thing. If you look at the whole fight, he was never bothering his eyes before you jabbed him. Before I jabbed him. Even that right hand, that conditioning has also been more emphasized in Davis's current camp. In past fights, Davis has relied on timing and explosive bursts to win rounds or close out opponents. But his team now wants more work rate from him. Some of the drills Davis has been doing involve longer sparring sessions with shorter rest periods, mimicking high-tempo rounds to build stamina and reduce his habit of slowing down mid-round. Neither side is changing everything, but both are making adjustments they believe will matter. Roach is focusing on volume, clarity, and control, while Davis is working on consistency, output, and avoiding the slow starts that gave Roach early confidence last time. So now he's trying to please the fans possibly and take this fight versus Lamont Roach in a rematch. You know, is it even worth it to please the fans who going to love you 1 minute, hate you the next? They're going to love him this minute, they're going to hate him next. Next minute. Oh, I don't like him. He can fight Lamont. Are they going to say, well, he's supposed to knock Lamont out if he does win, you know, or if he loses to Lamont, they're going to say, oh, we knew Lamont was better. It's just always is a never-ending story in regards to boxing. You can't displease the people. In interviews, Roach has stayed firm in his view that he can outbox Davis and take the belt outright. He's not backing off from that position, and his camp has backed that belief with the way they've structured this second run. They've gone back and watched every round of the first fight, slowing down the tape and picking out what they believe were openings that weren't fully exploited. Their goal this time is to throw combinations in those windows rather than single shots. Roach's father has said they want judges to see the difference clearly and that the plan is to take control from the opening bell, not build into the fight. Ain't the hardest puncher I ever faced? Nope. And I ain't shame on him or nothing like that. He can punch. But Jonathan Endo, he's from Puerto Rico, bro. He got bricks in his hands, bro. I got to lie. He punch hard. I ain't going to lie. Roach has also pointed out that Davis's star power might have helped him get the benefit of the doubt in the first fight. This time, he's preparing to remove that factor by pushing a pace that makes it impossible to reward inactivity. Roach's sparring sessions have included more movement, a mix of angles and levels, and consistent pressure. His coach and father has also added more mental conditioning using sports psychologists to help him stay focused round to round. They're treating this fight like one long test where every round has to be won clearly. Like the betting me that he going to knock me out and stuff like that. That didn't go too well for him. Did y'all bet? Oh, we bet. And we shook on it. He paid up. He changed his number. You ain't heard from again. There's a high level of mutual respect for each other. Like I said, we bumped into each other plenty of times, though more than an average boxer would see another boxer outside of boxing. Tank's team hasn't addressed Roach's comments or complaints publicly. Davis has remained focused on training and avoided interviews for now. His team's focus seems to be on execution and not giving Roach anything to work with early on. They're preparing Davis to start faster and finish each round stronger. His last fight showed some vulnerability in his rhythm, and this camp is centered on tightening that up. There's no question that Davis still carries power that can change a fight quickly. Roach knows this, and that's part of why his team has doubled down on defense. They've spent a lot of this camp on protecting the body, using head movement off the line, and making sure Roach doesn't freeze after his own punches. They want him punching in 3s and 4s and not letting Davis set traps. I think Gervonta had a bad night. I look for a tough fight.